And hello and welcome back, everybody, to the WD Black, the Esports Club League in association with ACD Fibernet, Zotac Gaming, and Games the Shop. I am your host, Blackjack, and joining me once again is my co host, Foxy. We are back for the third game of tonight, Reckoning Esports versus our Chickens. And Foxy, the map is. Well, what is the map
The
actually?
map is
Good
actually going to be
question.
coastline, and very interestingly, this is going to be the first map that we're going to see after the roster pickup that has happened for side of Hexa Esports, as the viewers might know them, a little more familiar names that we'll get to see today, as now they'll be called Reckoning Esports. Let's not waste any more time and get right into this matchup. What do you think is going to happen, Blackjack, according to you? I'm just. Hold on. Let me just take a second out here. For some reason, I'm not able to get words out of my mouth here.
Oh, totally understandable. As we are in the ban phase now, before we continue talking about what is happening in the ban phase, Capita Red, they got banned. Obviously, Reckoning Esport. I have obviously seen their game before, and they are a very very good team. Not to underestimate chickens. Their name may be chickens, but you can't really say that they are chickens. Obviously, they're not. They're playing on advanced computer systems, but that's besides the point. Bad pun there. Excuse me. Um, but coming back to the ban phase here, before I do that, again, interrupting my own self, is that we can't underestimate the way both of these teams have been playing. Of course, this is just the beginnings of the group stage. So we never know what's going to be the end result sitting here right at the beginning of the first match these guys are about to play. And coming back to the ban phase, so it is a Capita and a Blackbeard ban, along with Valkyrie. That is the Intel Op being taken out, of course. And the last ban from Reckoning is going to be the standard Echo ban. Echo, unfortunately, just he is being asked to sit out way too many games, in my opinion. Poor man. Let him play a game. Come on. Somebody out there. As the Capita ban obviously makes sense. He brings a ridiculous amount of utility, actually. So he's out of the
Right.
question. And Blackbeard, with his rapper shields or wind shields or face shields, give him that extra
Right.
life to dodge a headshot, at least for one bullet. That one bullet is all that matters. And the final one, of course, being Valkyrie. Intel, lots of intel being taken off the board. So Reckoning is going to switch to a Mozzie being brought in, along with, of course, Jaeger Castle Smoke and the Mira. Mira has seen quite a lot of use in Coastline. So now that she is open to be in Coastline, it's going to be interesting to see how both teams play her. Reckoning, of course, getting the first attempt. And actually, hello there. This is a hold on the bars, Blue and Sunrise Bar, and quite interesting. I am myself am not particularly familiar with these types of holds in higher tier play because I personally absolutely do not like these sites. a little bit of disclosure there. I'm not very fond of these sites, but there might be people out there, as we see Reckoning Sports here, they seem to know what they're doing, opening up tons of rotations inside, like in and around the site. They have the meter, they have the mods, they have the smoke, lots of shotguns, actually 4 shotguns in play. And Jaeger, poor guy, he only has a pistol to support himself with in his secondary slot. And, over to you, Foxy. A question for you before you do that,
Right.
though, is how do you think this defense is going to go down?
I think right. It's funny that you asked me that because. All right. Let me just get my composure here. All right. Okay. So we'll be seeing Reckoning go onto blue bar defense, and they've got an amazing setup here, making sure that they are getting all that intel, as well as making sure they're not allowing any entryways onto site. But looks like the attack is going to be more focused onto entering from the side of kitchen, and that is exactly what we are seeing them do. Obviously, the castle is what is going to be a little hurdle for them that they'll be facing here, trying to pick this castle off only in just a moment. Jackal going for that
They almost
footprint scan. He's going to spot out the castle, and I think I think that was expected coming out from them. We're seeing Hydrogen. That'll be the captain of Chickens. He's going to be stationed outside of Swana, as I like to call it. That's going to hang in there, as everything is just passive play right now from both these teams here. No early flags coming out from either of them. But only time can tell what will happen as we see Mozzie and Jaeger on the top floor roam here. Jaeger perfectly supporting his teammate there. That'll be Vortex and Rats playing the dynamic duo on the top with the roam game. they want to exhibit. We're seeing that Swana push already being happening. That Rats is watching on. He's got the right angle in his crosses. The push could come in from Thatcher at any point, and I would say the Jaeger is just not in the position to pick that fight. Oh, look at that. He hears him. He hears that footsteps coming, but he doesn't know that Thatcher is in, and that is going to cost him his life here. Thatcher does take out Rats. The White Knight is going to take out Vortex, but Vortex, before dying, is going to convert onto Shezan. We did see that a little bit of an aggressive push from the castle there to make sure that his teammate is being supported, but at the moment, that won't be the case. Thatcher now has the top floor control, and that'll be Chickens onto it. Does spot the Mira's legs out there, but he's going to go for the skill here. No, his legs are also being spotted at the same time as well. Castle is going to go for a quick rotate, and Ninja is going to drop down. White Knight, that's the Mira, making sure that the man count comes down to a 3v3 now. We're looking at a 30-second round left, as a lot of time is being expelled from the side of the attack here, while Ninja is going to get into another, and that's a lot of HP lost in that gunfight there. Tries to go for the third, but won't land his shots at the time. And the equalizer does come in from Spyboy. Hydrogen and Spyboy left to clutch it out for their team, while Korok and Reborn on the side of Reckoning Esports are going to make this happen for their team. 15 seconds left on the mark now. Spyboy still on top of this side here. Thermite goes in, but he's going to lose that fight against against the smoke rather. It's all on to Spyboy, but he's on top. Can he make this push happen? He's going to go for that double kill, but the down comes in from the castle, and he's going to get that final kill as well, as Reckoning Esports are going to win round 1.
That was certainly quite the defense there from Reckoning. Chickens actually had a pretty good push initially. They put Reckoning on the back seat quite early, but good bounce back from Reckoning Esports, managing to make sure that they come back from a slightly precarious situation into a winnable situation. Obviously, the 2v2 not going in favor of the Chickens. And well, here we are, 1-0 up already, the defending side, as they're going to be bringing out a Maestro Vortex right there, as they're going to be going for the hookup billiards defense with the Legion, Jaeger, Mira, and Smoke. Legion and Maestro are going to be, well, I would say Legion and Maestro might just be the most important ops here. Obviously, Mira is going to play a big role with her Black Mirrors, because Mira, with the map she came out on Coastline, similar to how Valkyrie came out with Border, right? They are very good at their home maps. You can call them home maps, I guess. So Mira, quite powerful on our home map, and we see her being played as soon as she's not banned, with the first mirror already being deployed by Mr. Reborn. It's going to be interesting to see how Chickens go for this defense, go for this offense. They're going to have to adapt quite a bit to the kind of defense that Reckoning Esports have brought out in their favor. They have a lot of potential to deconstruct, and they already are doing that with the smoke, with the little shotgun pistol that Maestro holds, obviously the impacts of Legion as well, and you know, every other utility piece that they have. Obviously, Maestro, with that shotgun pistol, with his dependence on the impact that he was given some time ago, is not quite as high as maybe some people might assume. So that is one thing to take note of, as White Knight out here actually has brought in the Gridlock, the Australian heavyweight. That's not a joke, okay? I'm making
Blackjack. You cannot fat shame my girl Gridlock like that.
I am not. Absolutely not. Okay, I'm making a general statement. Okay, no one assume anything. Thank you. I have to be careful here.
Yeah, it's just some jokes that do get thrown around more than often by us.
Quite a lot, yeah. That is, you know, just to make it clear, you know, a little bit of offbeat here, that all of it is just a joke. We are not saying it seriously. We're all here to have a fun time, right? Now, offbeat's out. We are back in the game. And lots of droning happening from the side of Chickens. They are making sure that they know who's inside of site, who's lurking, who's roaming, and who's doing what. They know where the evil eyes are, and they know where the utility is. As actually, we have Hydrogen here. He's sitting outside of the aquarium balcony. He's on the aquarium balcony, actually, watching for the window of luggage, making sure he's not going to get peeked. And Rats right here has made a nice little... that's a nice little line of sight that he's got, making sure he opens that nice and properly with his bullets. And the Buck has actually retreated off of that balcony. But White Knight, on the other hand, is sitting inside of the second floor bathroom. Zofia prepares her concussion nades to burn out the ADS, most likely, and actually gets an impact shot onto Mira. Mira goes down to roughly 60 HP, but no major damage being done. She's going to drop down the hatch, nice and safe. And again, we are moving almost to the minute mark here as Thermite's going to be opening out the side wall as Reborn's going to take down Spyboy in the meanwhile. That is the first attacker of the board. Nice kill from the Mira there as Rats has a Jaeger in his crosshairs. He's going to get a nice little headshot onto Hydrogen. That is the second attacker down, and Chickens find themselves in a disadvantage. Rats is going to go for a very ambitious run and get the kill onto Escanor. Brilliant run out from Rats. That's a double kill for him. Ninja on the other hand will take down Shazen, and Karak will clean up on White Knight to give Reckoning Esports a flawless round in round 2, defending hookup bar.
Indeed, a flawless victory coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports there. Quite a good show that we saw the defenders put on the side of Chickens, and looks like I just think that Chickens were a little slow on the kind of attack that they were trying to make. We saw them do like a passive entrance towards the aquarium, then they had to push towards the side of Hookah. Not really sure if they thought out exactly what I would say a determined push is exactly what was missing on the side of Chickens, but let us see if it's going to matter for Reckoning Esports as we proceed on to the round 3 now. And they are going to prefer a rather tough side to defend now as with the changing meta, and that is going to be Penthouse Theater. And with so much soft reach on the side of Chickens, this could just be that I would say this could just be that little space where Chickens could use that advantage against Reckoning Esports. But let us see what kind of setup comes out from the side of these defenders here. And as I do my job as a caster, I'm going to act like I'm completely unaware of what setup Reckoning Esports is going to
do. Of course, indeed. But coming back to this kind of setup, of course, the amount of soft reach that they have brought with themselves and the smoke, the impacts from Legion, we have the secondary shotgun from Mira. Very useful, actually. All of these secondary shotguns in play. So I guess taking the one from Mozzie that Ubisoft is trying to do with the new patch notes, it might sort of make sense. You know, takes a little bit away from an already very good operator. As we see a very standard soft wall hold for the Mira here, with the reinforced wall right next to her. Standard stuff. This is something I do myself quite a lot on Coastline, so I'm happy to see it being employed here. And as we move on to the attack round, we actually have a double rappel on the main sight window from a Buck and a Zof. Actually, I think that's a triple rappel. No, that is a double rappel. Zof is going to burn out the ADS. Nope, just going to throw a concussion out. Gets it ADS. And unfortunately, we'll have to pull back and wait for that ADS to be taken out. Burnt out by any way possible. Doc on a mirror window with that ACOG. Reborn here has a nice idea because this is a hold pretty much tailor-made for an ACOG operator, right? Rats, on the meanwhile, is going to be down in kitchen around the service entrance area. He's just trying to make sure that he might actually, now that I think about it, he might actually try for a run out from the service entrance door. He certainly seems to be gearing up for that. As Legion, Vortex already has a Claymore to deal with. He's just waiting for the right opportunity. The service entrance door has also been open. They are just confirming with themselves when they want to go for this run out, and they're trying to gather some intel on. Yep, the Claymore is actually taken out, and Legion's just going to cautiously peek around, make sure no one's there. He's actually going to get a kill. That is Escanor from taken out by the Legion. A full run out happening as Legion's going to pull back into sight. As Shazan out here is actually going to try and rush plan, and he might just be successful. He's going to be gassed by the smoke, but he's going to be able to successfully pull back as Ninja in the meanwhile takes on White Knight, but a defender goes down. That is Ninja, the Mira, out of the equation. Shazan is still by VIP, holding it down to the best of his ability, but will be taken up by the Legion. And actually, the smoke, now that I look at it, and smoke is right by the diffuser. He's going to go for the counter diffuse. Korok is trying to, well, Spyboy goes down in the meanwhile as another defender goes down, but Korok is going to stick the counter diffuse and manage to win it out for Reckoning Esports. That is round 3 in their favor.
That was well played by Reckoning there, although they could have been better with the kind of denial that they brought to the play there. It was very easy for the Sleds to just walk into the side without any hard breach, just could use that sledgehammer, use a soft wall that Reckoning Esports themselves opened up for the attackers. Just walked in there, got the plan down. With the Doc in play, with the smoke in play, watching those angles, with the Mira in play as well. I just think Reckoning Esports let that attack round slip from their hands and almost gave that advantage rather to attackers. And once again, I've started to slip on my words. Well, coming back to the game here, round 4 is going to be, we'll be seeing them go onto the blue bar once again, and that is going to be quite interesting as we saw them defend all sides so far successfully, and Blue Bar was their first side that they wanted to depend on, and that is exactly what we'll be seeing them go once again. Ninja Freak on the Mira, Vortex on the Mozzie, Rats on the Jaeger, Reborn on the Castle, and Korok will be on the smoke. On the other hand of Chickens, we've got Hydrogen on Buck, we've got Shizan on the Ash, Spyboy with the Nomad, Escanor on Thatcher, and White Knight on the Jackal. Really good and really promising ops that we're seeing them employ, as we don't really need a hard breacher when it comes to a side map like Coastline rather, and we'll be seeing a standard, or in fact not a standard maybe, hold coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports as they try to employ their strategy with the setup that they've made here.
Yes, and in the meanwhile, I'm just going to say this again, a little bit more disclosure, is that now that I actually have seen how this set can be defended, I might be changing my mind sometime soon about the bars, as employing this with my friends is going to be a little bit more difficult than it is with the team, because we're usually just so discordant and doing our own thing, right? But coming back to the game, because that's a worry for myself later, lots of shots are being fired around by the square sky. The gap there, as Rats is going to take on White Knight. In the meanwhile, that is once again the Jackal of the board. White Knight gone quite early in the round. Vortex is holding down Aquarium by his lonesome, as the Jaeger knows that there's somebody already pushing or trying to push the second floor hook. Again, flashbangs are being thrown. The ADS has been burnt out, I believe, as the flashbang does go in through successfully. And there's also somebody trying to break the castle barricade on the rappel. That is the Thatcher doing his hardest to break down the castle barricade in time, and he is successful. Just those few whacks over there is gonna get hit, but there's somebody already at the corridor, and he's gonna take down Rats, as Spyboy gets a kill and trades in for his teammate. But Vortex in the meanwhile is gonna take down Hydrogen. So unfortunately, the Chickens are going to still be at a man disadvantage, and a nice angle being employed here by the Smoke Korok inside of sight. Ninja Freak as well. They're both watching above as the Nomad just gets off her drone. Ash is waiting to break down the hatch into sight. Nomad out here placing her utility, making sure the flanks are not possible, as Mozzie on his drone does spot the fact that there is an air jab on that 90 hallway door. And Smoke's angle, he's still there, but doesn't seem like he's going to be getting anybody just yet. Mira as well. They're both of them being very cautious. Castle knows that says there's somebody pushing down blue stairs. That is the Ash, who is going to be pushing back onto the hatch, but the hatch is being fired on. But she's going to get the drop on to Sunrise, but will be taken out instantly by a double crossfire from Reborn and his teammate. And now the blue wire fight has come into fruition, as Reborn still completely unfazed sits right next to sight, holding his own. The hatch drop being potentially prepared by Escanor. He's the only one up there, as Nomad. He's going to get a kill, in fact. Korok goes down. That's the smoke out of play here. And the Nomad's going to rotate back, going to get taken by Vortex in the hallway, and now it's all up to Escanor in a lonely 1v3. He's going to get peeked and taken out by the Mozzie as well. Vortex getting yet another kill. Reckoning Esport confirming on round 4. Fourth round in a row for Reckoning Esports, as Chickens just cannot seem to find a counter to the kind of defenses that are being brought out. Very well played to Reckoning Esports so far, and a 4-0 advantage on a map like Coastline definitely going in their favor so far. It's very well played to pretty much all the teams. And might sound like I'm in favor of them. That's because they're just doing so well. Chickens.
Wait a minute. You sound like you're in favor of them?
That is how I feel about it.
That is exactly why I'm trying to not fanboy over my boys here, but then again, it's a great, I would say it's a great attempt coming out from the side of Chickens. And just like I said, it's the utility not being properly used. We saw the bug being picked out from the side of Chickens when we saw them go to Penthouse, but the bug was not present. He just went onto the top of the skylight there and got the hatch open onto Penthouse. Yes, that is a necessary thing to do for the bug, but then again, they had the sledge as well that could have done it, and the bug could have used his ability, his skeleton key that he can use against the Mira setup that we saw Reckoning make, and that is exactly where Chickens are losing the match. they are not able to counter what Reckoning is offering them, and that is exactly what is biting them in the back. Maybe if Chickens only get that cohesion between them back up and they understand exactly where to pinch down Reckoning, they could just get that round victory in them. But for the while, we'll be seeing Reckoning dominate on a 4-0 scoreline, and it's indeed a very dominating hold that we've seen them do onto defense. Seeing Goyo being employed as well, and my man Korok is going to be running the TCSG. I say my man just because he's using the TCSG and not the Vector.
Well, in the meanwhile, going back into the round itself, we are now in attack phase, obviously, as the droning is happening in and around Penthouse, as they will see the operator. I didn't exactly catch who that was, but there is Hydrogen down here by the blue bar. He's going to get goo mined, takes a double to the shin. Legion's going to peek him. Was that Legion? I believe that was Mira, actually. And she's going to have to take... The Ash is going to have to take out those goo mines from her shin. As Rats, in the meanwhile, is going to take down Spy Boy and get a double onto Escanor. That's a double kill for Rats this round, as Chickens once again are just being pushed farther and farther on the back foot. Rats is going to pull up on the bars. He knows that there's somebody around here. He knows somebody's in Sunrise. Well, just outside of it, that's a flashbang. He's going to get a few shots onto Hydrogen. Hydrogen out here preparing for the fight of his life, probably. He's going to be peeking and pulling back as fast as he can. Pre-fire is coming out from Rats, unfortunately not in his own favor. Hydrogen's going to get that headshot onto him, shutting down the Jaeger. And that is one attack, one defender, actually, of the board. Reckoning have lost a man. Now, Maestro, that is Vortex, is actually inside of Kitchen. He's going to be rotating towards the bar, so it looks like he's going to be their next, the 3-armor flank that we're going to be seeing here, along with Legion, who's already down there, as the Ash is going to open up blue bar window. Jackal finds a set of footprints while he's getting tagged up, as Shezan will take down Korak. Unfortunately, Goyo's CCSG will not be seeing too much action. Jackal gets tagged up by Maestro's Evil Eye, who's sitting comfortably in Kitchen. He knows that the Jackal by White Stairs gave a mark for his teammates. And now it's an open game. As I say that, Hydrogen gets a kill onto Vortex. That's his double kill this round. And now Reckoning actually on the back foot with a 3 versus 2 man disadvantage. The push is happening from Aquarium. We do see one attacker there. Mira is going to be watching, holding down that one through her window. That is the Jackal right there. Yep, going to be blowing up the canister on that Goya shield, getting the area denial on, and just making sure Jackal has that much of a harder time. But it's now a 3-stack push coming in from Aquarium. This might be ill-advised for the Chickens, as they're going to be throwing out their smokes, but Mira still has a C4, and Legion's already inside the side as well. The C4 is going to come out because they hear the plant, and the C4 is going to go off, stopping the plant immediately. Chickens have come back onto the diffuser, and Hydrogen tries to go for the plant, but he's going to be taken out as well by Ninja Freak, and it's all left onto the Jackal. He's going to peek in the sight, not even going to try to go for the diffuser, as he's going to get taken out by Mira. Reckoning Esports bringing this round back, despite going onto the back foot. They bounce strongly, giving themselves yet another round in advantage. Very, very well played by Reckoning Esports, just showing their defensive dominance going into round 6. This is, of course, the last round before roll stops.
Despite we saw them lose that man advantage, we saw the Legion and Mira playing it to perfection rather at the end of the round there. And more than that, we saw the perfect utility use. Once again, the C4 came out, then the Legion for the plant denial on it. Double plant denial, and that is exactly where Chickens once again fail to understand what exactly they have to do, because a 3-stack Aquarium push with nobody rappelling onto Hookah, nobody rappelling onto the big window of Aquarium, or the pool table as some people like to call it, is what is biting them in the back here. And we once again are going to go to Penthouse, and on a very interesting note, we are seeing Korok run the Clash here, and that is the first time we will be seeing that operator being employed on this map. And as surprised as I sound, that is exactly what we'll wait and watch as what Reckoning is trying to bring to the table here with the setup we saw last time. Maybe this time around, I'm expecting Chickens to try and counter that setup here, because in my opinion, Penthouse is the worst site a defender can choose to go on. With so much meta change here, it's just not favorable anymore, and that's exactly what has changed the meta now. You can even opt the bars instead of Penthouse, but Reckoning Esports at this point, they just want to make sure that they go to match point, but with a little challenge in the mix there, and that is why we'll be seeing them test their crouch keys there.
It's all in the fun. It's all in the spirit of the fun of the game, and that is exactly what we saw right there. Just making sure, having a little up down dance as both operators. Oh, okay, Mira's gonna do that as well. Looking back onto Doc after putting down her window, and Clash is actually just standing still right by the door, making sure nothing comes through in harm of her friends. And as the attackers are gonna drone in and out of sight, actually most of the drone work, I believe, is happening on site and VIP, as it's going to be interesting to see if they pick up on how Reckoning has been playing so far, if they're going to use the soft destruction that they have on hand, or are they going to, fold once again. They do have the IQ on White Knight, which might be important if she's going to be using her gadget to complete fruition, as flashbangs are going to come out from the Hibana inside of sight, but the ADS is going to catch that, so nothing happening to Doc just yet. He knows that the IQ is there, goes for the peak, unfortunately takes a little bit of damage. Escanor has taken oh, hello there, nice headshot from White Knight, taking out Mr. Reborn. That is an ACOG off the board. Unfortunately, the Clash is still there to contest any push happening from Red, as Rats is going to take down Shazam. In the meanwhile, he is right outside of VIP, but there is still an attacker outside of the VIP window. The IQ knows, but she's going to be taken down as well. Rats getting a double kill, and he knows now that there is Thatcher out there. He's going to take him out as well. Escanor goes down. Rats has a triple kill to his name, and he is going off once again, making sure his team has zero trouble, as the Clash is going to take out the Claymore. Had a little bit of confusion between both operators there, as the Nomad, I believe that is, outside of Hookup. Vortex knows that she is there, and he's going to be waiting for her to push. Flashbangs being thrown out by Ash, as we heard over comms there. And unfortunately, she's going to be taken out by Rats as well. Rats is on a quad kill. Can he get the ace? No, he's going to be denied by Vortex, as Vortex gets the last kill onto Spyboy. Reckoning Esport going 6-0 up into round swap.
That is indeed quite a route coming in, and they did not even let the attackers move in onto the map there. They just finished the, I would say, round just outside VIP, and that was quite interesting. That Chickens are just not able to counter to what Reckoning is bringing to the table. And I'll be very honest, based on what Chickens have been performing so far, I was not expecting this match to be so one-sided on the side of Reckoning, as they've been showing complete dominance. And with the side swap coming in, we'll be seeing them go on to the attacking side now, as we come to it. We're seeing, let's take a quick look at the operator selections that we're seeing Reckoning present here. Zofia, Nomad, Box, Ledge, and the Ying onto the 6 pick from Korok, as looks like Korok is just gonna get his hands a little flexible on that operator, with the buff coming in soon from UB. Really making sure that they're getting those balancing factors in. Meanwhile, White Knight will be employing the Doc, and Chickens on the other hand are going to employ the Doc, Legion, Mute, Jaeger, and Mozzie. That's a good intel denial coming on from the side of Chickens as well, but is it a lost cause for Chickens at this moment, because they now have to make a 6th round comeback, and it's just not been working out for them so far. Seeing Reckoning making sure they are getting all that early drone work in for their teammates. The Mozzie pests are what are irritating them at this point. No pest on the main door though. I was expecting that to happen. Meanwhile, Ninja is 316 on his drone.
Oh, he's having quite a lot of fun. It's very clear how much fun Reckoning is having in their game so far. I can't really say if it's the same for Chickens. Going down 6-0 in your first group stage game isn't exactly somewhere you would want to be, but again, as you said, it's not completely impossible to make a 6-star comeback, as the Buck, unfortunately, is going to go down. Hydrogen gets a nice headshot onto Ninja Freak, and that is a very important, actually not Buck, Zofia, excuse me there. Zofia goes down to the Mozzie, very important operator, unfortunately being taken out early. Rats inside of Blue Bar is going to take out his drone, as Korok is going to take down Escort in the meanwhile. Nice shot from him.
Indeed, a nice shot there.
And now that he's outside... And now that he's outside of the kitchen window, he surely knows that there's an ADS in there, so he can't just throw his Candelas willy-nilly and run right in. He's going to wait and try and see if he can get anything. Oh, well, then Shazam having a little bit of trouble taking out the drone there, as now that he's been spotted on the blue stairs, they're going to know that is the attacking side, that there is potential for a flank from one of the defenders. Nate from Buck is going to take out the barbed wire. Have to slow down for just a second. And
The buck.
okay, he
No,
knows
right?
somebody's.
Oh, look at that peak
And-
from the
oh,
Mozzie
no.
coming in. Hydrogen is going to take out Rats, and White Knight on the other hand is going to take down Korok. It's all down to Vortex and Reborn as they try to keep things alive for Reckoning Esports on this 7-0 clean sweep that they came so close to, and looks like things are falling apart also quickly as bodies get dropped, and all in the favor of Chickens finally making their way up in this attacking round. He knows somebody's playing there, tries to go for that peak, and he'll get that. Reborn, that'll be the kill onto Shazam. We're seeing Vortex and Reborn in this dynamic duo making this push onto site. Vortex just making sure he's got all his angles checked. He gets that pre-fire in from Doc, but does he hear it? He's going to try and drop one. He gets Doc instead while tagging the smoke around. Oh, that'll be the mute rather. It's a 2 versus 2 now. They still have more than enough time to work it out with Hydrogen. Meanwhile, on the triple kill, and that'll be the Mozzie. It's all down to Vortex to keep things alive for his team. Tries to land the shots on the mute, but it won't matter as he whiffs those shots. And our Chickens finally get that first round in against Reckoning Esports, and it won't be a clean sweep coming out from them as Chickens finally getting back in the game on this defending side here as Kitchen will be the first round.
That was certainly a good defending hold from Chickens in Kitchen. I almost said the opposite thing. But, I mean, they sound very similar. Okay, don't. Okay, just saying. Offbeat again. But now, very good hold by Chickens in the Kitchen. They are going to win a round, make the scoreboard come alive, and they are going to go into hookup lounge for their second order defense, actually bringing in both the French boys, Rook and Doc, along with the mute Mozzie combo of Intel Denial and Gathering, and Jaeger to, stop any utility coming in their way. Grenades, flashbangs, you name it, Jaeger can counter it. Well, most of them. Capita sits there smugly in the meanwhile. So it's going to be interesting to see the kind of attacking push Reckoning brings out, given that the last round didn't quite work out in their favor. They had a few too many bodies lost a bit too early, because by the minute half mark, they were already down to their last 2. And, it wasn't quite the position they wanted to be in. So they're going to make amends, and they're going to make sure that they don't get taken out one by one this time around going into this hooker defense. So, normally I would ask, what do you think is going to happen? But now I'm going to ask, do you think Reckoning Esports is going to take this round?
I'm more than sure what's going on in the voice comms right now, and I can tell you that Reckoning Esports is poised to take this one ahead. We saw a very responsible break coming out from that Zofia, whether that is, if I'm not mistaken, that was Ninja Freak, and I'm not mistaken, as he tried to walk in that Sunrise, just could not peek at the right time, not enough intel being droned out for him, and that is what costed them that first frag. And then it all came down to the roam strategies that we saw Chicken pull out, and Chickens are going to have to still be on the front foot, though. They're going to have to make sure they don't give Reckoning any room for improvement, because if they do so, they are not going to leave them unpunished. And more than that, they're sitting on match point already, and look at that, the Mozzie does get spotted out by Korok. Tries to go with that pre-fire here as he'll be running the IQ on the Commando. The ACOG has been just a very powerful gun, all in all. We're seeing that push coming in from the side of Rats here. He's already made his way onto VIP, while we are seeing a little emphasis from the side of Vortex here. Oh, that Mozzie gets punished on that double duty takedown. Let's go with these pre-fires here. That'll be Ninja doing his duo duty as the Zofia. Looking at that Jaeger here as meanwhile on the bottom of this map here, we're seeing Mew pick out a kill, and that'll be Vortex dropped once again. Will this be the case, as we're seeing things turn out in the favor of Chickens and make that in the favor of Reckoning, as they just managed to get that man count again in their favor? Well, I stand corrected once again, as it's just a Fragfest game on to the refrags. White Knight is going to get another. Rather, White Knight is going to get taken out from... No, he did get another. Excuse me, I'm just a little too confused on what exactly is happening on the screen here. So much information to get fed off from, and look at that. That's just going to go for that intel here. I'm pretty sure Reckoning rather is preparing for that plant prep, I would say. Look at that. The drone does get spotted out. Shazam is going to be peeking this long hallway as Rats is on his solo queue mission here in this hallway. He's got no support, no crossfires established either. It just has to come down to this man winning his gunfights. And look at that, he's going to win the first one. He's going to get that down. Will he matter? Oh, he gets a knife! What a disrespect coming in from Rats there. It's a 1 versus 2 now for Spy Boy. He has to clutch this one out. The plant is going down. And Ninja to complete things for Reckoning Esports. And that'll be it. A 7-1 clean sweep from Reckoning Esports. They did lose a composure there for that one round. We saw them go on to kitchen defense, but finally getting that victory eventually, though. 7-1 is quite the score that we're looking at, and very marginally, I would say, different scores that we've seen in the matches that we were expecting than yesterday. Anyways, what a frag fest for Reckoning Esports there. And that'll be it, guys. That'll be it from me and Blackjack for the while, as we'll be back tomorrow with more action, with more Siege, with more WD Black, the Esports Club Rainbow Six Siege League, as we end our day 1 of group stages. We'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of group stages. Things are only getting more exciting. Things are only getting fired up. We're only getting started. Be there, guys, tomorrow as phase 2, day 2 of group stages begin at 5 p.m. in the evening. That'll be it from me. That is Foxtrot, and this is Blackjack signing off as well. Good night, guys. Have a good one.